For many years now, I've been trying to get closer and closer to understanding the nature of consciousness. Well, I think about it all my life, really. It's just I didn't realize it until 1992, when a series of peculiar events in my life opened me up to a higher state of consciousness, which I have used more or less to something of consciousness to study. So exploring your own mind, you can open yourself up to all mind. Because we think, oh, I've got my mind, you've got your mind, and so on. But we're all one mind. There is only one mind. I mean, how can there be? How can everything exist in more than one mind? Because it'd be outside itself. So but there is only one state where this is fundamentally true, and this is in oneness. This is the state where everything is one. The idea of one here being the numerical integer with its subjective quality or aspect of oneness. So between this oneness as everything and nothing, by nothing I don't mean zero, I mean nothing as in infinity. Is the oneness, this is a state of being and many other things. There is no one idea or explanation for what oneness is. The purpose of all existence is for the oneness to experience itself, and it can't do this directly, because if you're oneness, you can't be a separate thing within the context of oneness. So how can you be in the oneness and yet seem to be outside of it while really being in it? The common factor in all of this is infinity. And this long journey hasn't reached a conclusion, but it's reached a point where I think that I don't know where to go. What can be next to this? 1 + 1 = 2. So what? There's no mystery. The real point is, it is a mystery. How come something so self-contained that it's inconceivable to be outside it become apparently on the inside of something, looking out on a whole universe that shouldn't be there? Because if you're oneness and you're everything, what are you looking at? What's out there that you're looking at that isn't already you? That's all it is. We're just a lot of bloody idiots running around, banging our heads on the wall, thinking, oh, all this trouble, all these stupid ideologies. if I'm allowed to say ideologies, they're just platforms for diving off into the great beyond to see what would happen if I made everybody do this, or if everybody thought this, how wonderful it would be. What can we do? We'll have to control thinking. We can't have all this thinking because it could lead to all sorts of trouble. And there's nothing else to think about. Because what is infinity? It's a state of absolute non-existence within the context of a mathematical paradigm. This is a number. This is the light, individualized. This is when the oneness, through the magic of consciousness, experiences itself in this state of nothingness, the dark. The other place here is the oneness, which has apparently got a hole in it. We look closely through this hole, we can see nothingness, but it's all encompassed within this circle. And this circle is infinity. That does seem to leave a big question. What's all this out here then? That's the biggie. Need to take time to show you that there are two sorts of infinity. They are this outside, which I would suggest is what we can call potential infinity, and the circle represents actual infinity, and the difference is this really is infinity, and there is absolutely nothing we can say about it whatsoever. It's the source of everything, and whether you like the idea or not, well, I think it's a scream, really. It's us. This is where we are. So what's the difference between us, nothing, not even nothing, us, what isn't anything, shall we say, that lives out here, or doesn't actually exist, but would exist if it could. But it does have a form of existence through what's in this circle. So what does that represent? Well, that, I should say, I'm not trying to explain the Tao or anything religious in this, nothing at all. What I'm talking about is just logic based on my using the infinite mind to try to tap into it, because well, that's what, I didn't know that till recently. I've only been doing it 30 odd years. But that's where we are, because what's in the circle, this whole disc, represents the concept of mathematics. It's all mathematics. You can't have structured thought without some form of logical basis behind it to give it meaning. If you're purely infinite, you can't think. I mean, what could you think with if you're infinite? You haven't got anything. And what is there to think about? You can't, can you? There's nothing in infinity to think about. In fact, even the idea of thinking needs thinking about. So, you can't do anything about it. So this is it. This represents each one of us, and it represents everything that is finite, because you've got this in terms of the mathematics of it all. This is just me saying this. I'm not a mathematician. I used to work for them, and they'd see me as a heretic or something, I would imagine. But never mind. I had a great deal of respect for mathematicians, and I did enjoy that side of it. But what we've got here is the idea of number, and number has different aspects. The light side is oneness, and you've got the dark side, which is nothingness. And between you've got this wavy line. The wavy line represents the interplay between the states of being and non-being that make it possible for a thought to have both form and meaning in what we can call context. You see, a thought has no meaning unless it has a context. That's not to say that every thought that goes through our heads, it can be without any context. That's quite normal. I'm talking about a thought as some fundamental, almost archetypal expression or idea in universal consciousness. So an important thought, for example, is planet Earth. Another one that you might be more favourably disposed towards would be yourself. So you and the Earth, every atom practically, is all part of a pattern, and the pattern belongs to itself. It's an organically growing thing. It goes through the mechanism of number as expressed within infinite context. And it's the infinite context that is the key part of all of this, because what you're living through isn't real. What it is a story. Now, what is a story? Well, it's the usual thing. It's a stage, it's a setting, it's a place, it's a cast of characters, it's scenery. Nature beavers away. It's not random in the fond way we imagine. I think more in our hive mind. It's a virtual reality simulation controlled from a command center, or God forbid, whatever you want to call it, a place where things all are organized. The point is that the story is purely abstract. It doesn't exist. The only reality of the experience is in how it comes over to us. Reality is what convinces us that we are who we are, that we exist. It gets harder to question the reality of things around you if you have to apply it to yourself. Because I suppose we've all got a bit attached to this idea that we're real. How can a story be real? What's it made of? Numbers. I am not a number. Sorry, mate, you are. Everything is made of numbers. Of number. There's only one number, but it can take infinite values. So infinite values means infinite possibilities. If this is you, what you've got is this idea of number where it's your number. Don't ask me how big it could be. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? It's beyond imagination. You know, somewhere on the way to infinity. How far do you have to go towards infinity to be what? I don't know. See through everything, become everything. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter because at the moment we are, by common agreement, with personal responsibility for everything you do, because you are within the confines of your actual personal infinity. We all are. So that's your personal infinity. That means this entire universe that you exist in is you. And that applies to everybody. So we're all in our own universes, and we're not really even here. We're just in the mobile phone that the real infinity is experiencing. Right, that will do for now. Thank you very much.